Good morning.
Morning, Judge.
Morning, Tim. Well, let's see here. We're back and we got Lori Hines and we got Law Office. John, we have a busy morning today. Good morning, Lori.
Judge, you had a nice vacation.
Thank you. In fact, my vacation was so good, Judge Pattison thought he better take one. So it's going to be a very busy day and busy week. But anyway, it's always good to get a little time off and come back and be ready to go. We need to get situated here, so give me a moment.
Our vacation was a quick trip to Iowa City.
Well, we pay for our vacations before we leave and when we get back, but I will tell you that it was a nice vacation. It's good to know you guys were all back here doing all the hard work while I was.
Doing some funny things. Do you show people have joined? I'm looking. Hey, Marcus
Laura, I
Taylor.
can't hear you.
Marcus Taylor, I don't know. You probably don't know if he's on yet.
Nobody's on yet. All right.
I got one I need to talk about.
Well, Luke's in a conference room. Let's see, we've got quite a lot on the table here. Whose actual duty week is it?
Mine, Your Honor.
It's Tim George's. I'm next week. Shoot.
John has just Michael Kurth, and Lori has Taylor Klipfel. I have Taylor Matthews in the waiting room. Mandy Jarvis. Austin Shaw was here earlier. Marcus Taylor is not here. And Luke also has an Austin Shaw. Luke was here also, lost him. So I have Taylor Matthews and Joshua Barker is here. Mr. Barker is yours, Tim.
Yep.
What do we know so far?
Mr. Barker is going to enter a plea to use of meth.
Good morning.
Morning.
I keep bringing in law office and losing it. Not sure who that is. Mr. Barker and Mr. Matthews are with us. Are you Joshua Ryan Barker? Mr. Barker, could you unmute your microphone? You were in.
Sorry.
All right, good morning. Mr. Barker, you're charged with a felony offense of possession of methamphetamine. That's punishable by up to 10 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $15,000. Your attorney, Mr. Timothy George, is here. The prosecutor is represented by attorney Deborah Davis. I've got somebody in the waiting room. Let me shut it off. They've offered to dismiss the felony charge for a plea to the misdemeanor offense of use of methamphetamine. Your lawyer, Mr. Tim George, is here with us. Ms. Davis, you confirm that's the plea offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. George, do you agree?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Barker, are you going to plead to the misdemeanor offense of use of methamphetamine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Use of methamphetamine, as I indicated, is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to a year in jail, a fine of up to $1,000. It could also affect your driving privileges, although that's not as clear as it once was. And is he eligible for 7411 probation?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Barker, have you ever had a previous drug charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then I'm probably going to get a pre-sentence and get some information. Do you understand that if you plead to this misdemeanor charge, you will be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury? There'll be no trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. Mr. George has been appointed to represent you. You could also hire an attorney of your own choosing if you wish. If you had a trial, you'd have a right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. You also would have the right to take the witness stand yourself and testify, but you don't have to because you have a right not to testify, and if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you, and you have the right to be presumed innocent if and until the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Were you in possession of some methamphetamine here in St. Joe County on October 13th of last year?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where were you?
Right on Fawn River Road.
Are you on probation or parole anywhere now?
No, Your Honor.
Are you working?
I'm actually, I was going to get a job yesterday, but I told them to hold off because of what was going on with this. So I didn't want to start a job without, and have to quit.
What's your job offer?
I can go down and work at Forest River down at the boat pontoon place.
Well, go ahead and pursue that because I'm going to set sentencing out a little bit. I'm going to ask for a pre-sentence report.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
I'm going to set sentencing for June 7th. Does that work for you, Tim?
Your Honor, would we be able to do it the next week? Is that possible?
Next week?
I'm sorry, the next week, June 14th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably. At 11 a.m. Mr. Barker, are you still at the Prairie River Road address?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tim, would you email me his phone number?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to get a pre-sentence report, find out about your priors and what the situation is. When did you last work?
It was this last year. I was working at Summit Palmer's.
It always feels like people come to court and the next day they're going to get a job after they haven't worked for a year. Right now, there's all kinds of employment out there.
Yes,
I want to see if we're working or not before we do this sentence.
Yes, sir. Yeah, one of the supervisors actually asked me to come down there and work.
Well, go ahead and pursue it. Yeah, people are looking for help, and that's a pretty good place to work. They pay a good wage.
Yeah, they're offering $22 an hour.
That's more than I make. I make $1.87.
Dang.
Plus tips. Don't get any. All right, Mr. Barker, I want you to get your waterfowl aligned and get employed, and I will see you on June 14th at 11 a.m. The probation department's going to contact you first.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, you're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
All right, well, that is something we had to do. We've only got one other defendant here. I'm going to remove Mr. Barker. Thank you, Tim. Austin Shaw is here and Cirillo Martinez is here.
Yes.
Who's got Taylor Matthews?
I do, Your Honor. And if we could I go into a breakout room with him?
Yes, Tim is back.
Hi, sorry about that.
You're
My phone
fine, Mr.
died.
Shaw. Just stay right where you are for a minute.
Thanks so much.
Good morning, Mr. Martinez.
Good morning, Your Honor. I was joining the call, let the court know that Mr. Villafuerte was arrested this morning by immigration.
All right, well, hold still. We got a bunch of stuff going on here, so let me take care of this piece of business.
Okay.
Where I'm going to assign Mr. Who needed to see Mr. Matthews? You, Tim?
Yes.
All right, assign Tim George and Taylor Matthews.
Austin Shaw, if I could get in a breakout room with him, Your Honor, that would be appreciative.
All right, well, in just a minute, because I only got one room going, so. Let me see if I can pull this off. I always get into problems when I try to do more than one breakout room, but let's see if I can do it.
And if I could,
Room one, we're going to assign Tim
Hi, sorry.
George and Taylor Matthews. And in room two, we're going to assign Lori Hines and Austin Shaw. We're going to close them, open them.
could I join that breakout room with Mr. Shaw?
You could, except I just closed it. Now let me see if I can accomplish that. Assigned Luke Ossinger assigned to room two. I'll get better. Oh boy.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Martinez, let me dial up your client here. We've got a bunch of cases. It was Lori Hines's case, so let me take a look.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, do you know where he's being held right now?
I would think that he is probably going to be held in Calhoun County. So if we can rid him back, that would be great.
Well, let's call the case here. This is file 21692FY. People versus Guadalupe Salvador Villafuerte Ferrar. He isn't here. Cirillo Martinez is here from his Mobile World headquarters. Connecting. Have you been retained in this case, Mr. Martinez?
I have, Your Honor.
All right, we'll get a substitution of counsel.
I believe it's been filed with the court, Your Honor.
All right. I guess didn't make it to the file yet. I've been away. All right, defendant arrested yesterday. Where was he arrested? You know what county?
Your Honor, this morning he was arrested at his home
Oh,
by immigration. When I got the phone call, it was around 7:30 this morning from a friend of his saying that immigration had just picked him up. They were going to process him, probably take him to Grand Rapids, get him fingerprinted, and then he probably will be lodged in Calhoun County either this morning or later this afternoon.
I'm going to continue the pre-exam for 2 weeks. As you know, trying to do these by Polycom is beneficial. Trying to do it from the Calhoun County Jail takes lots of logistical planning and alignment of the stars. Today's the 27th. I'm going to continue the pre-exam to May 11th at 9 a.m. That's my day.
Okay.
And we'll attempt to do Polycom with defendant from the Calhoun County Jail.
If for some reason he is taken somewhere else, Your Honor, I will notify the court. They do have various holding facilities, immigration does, in Monroe and I believe St. Clair or St. Shores.
St. Clair Shores. Most of ours end up in Sturgis. Debbie, was there any sort of plea offer in this case?
No, we haven't had any contact from Mr. Martinez, so there hasn't been any discussions.
Lori,
You can call
while
and
you've
speak
been
with Dave.
in the breakout room, Cirilo Martinez is here on Guadalupe, Salvador, Villa Fuerte, Ferrar, and he informed us that he got arrested, the defendant got arrested this morning by the Immigration Service. Mr. Martinez says a substitution of counsel is in the works, and we've continued this to May 11th, so your responsibility in that one's done.
Yeah,
Have you gotten the substitution?
I've already signed it and returned it to Mr.
All right,
Sir.
so yeah, it's probably just hasn't made it to me yet. All right, that's all we can accomplish this morning. Mr. Martinez, keep us apprised as to his location, and we will attempt to get him here. And in the meantime, you can discuss the matter with the prosecutor, see if there's some sort of plea offer that perhaps could resolve this.
Okay.
But, all right, you're good to go. Thank you.
Which prosecutor is handling this, Your Honor?
Deborah Davis or David Marvin.
If you call today, you can probably speak with Prosecutor Marvin.
Okay. I will call Mr. Marvin.
All right, Mr.
Thank you.
Marvin, thank you.
You have a good day.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Goodbye.
All right, I got Austin Shaw. Now, everybody wait just a minute. I got somebody named K-Pack, K22. Let's figure out who that is. All right, Mr. Shaw, just stay right where you are.
Okay.
And that's Teresa Jones.
Hi.
Hi. Miss Jones, can you hear me? Could you unmute your microphone?
Hi, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good
You
morning.
had several cases earlier this morning which were set for show cause on a bench warrant, 201604, 201678, 202421. Your lawyer, Luke Knopfinger, was here, we knew you didn't abscond, but you have a hard time showing up on the right date at the right time. We set these all for, what did we set them for, Luke? May 4th?
Yes.
We set your 3 cases for May 4th at 9 o'clock. My strong suggestion is you call Mr. Knopfinger and talk about all this stuff. We did get the special prosecutor appointed. There's an offer to resolve all your misdemeanor cases. And if we can pull that off, we'll do it on May 4th. So
Okay. What time?
That would be 9 o'clock. We'll send you that notice.
Okay. I just wrote it down on my calendar also.
All right. Stay in contact with your lawyer. He was here for you, so he was covering your concerns.
Yeah, I've been in contact with him lately about these cases because I thought they were all tied in to the other case. And so I was just,
Well, that's what they're trying to do, but we got a city attorney, we got a special prosecutor. There's a lot going on, so stay in contact with Mr. Luke.
Okay.
All right, you're good to go, Teresa.
I have one question, Your Honor.
All right.
Do I still have bench warrants as of now still?
No, I just recalled them.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it, Your Honor. It won't happen again.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day and be safe.
Okay.
Bye, Luke.
See you, Teresa.
Okay, we've got Taylor Matthews and Austin Shaw. Let me get my ducks in a row. I got Taylor Clipfell, Marcus Taylor, Taylor Matthews, James Taylor, Taylor Swift, Rod Taylor. Taylor made suit. Let's see who else we got here. Mr. Matthews, I beg your indulgence. I'm trying to find your file here. Here it is. That is Timothy George. All right. Let's talk about Austin Shaw. Mr. Shaw has a lot going on here. File 202377FY alleges possession of controlled substance on or about June 15th of last year. File 21469FY alleges possession of methamphetamine on or about March 4th of 21. File 21444FY alleges unlawful use of a financial transaction device on or about February the 12th. Mr. Knopfinger represents the defendant in the drug charges, and Ms. Hines represents the defendant in the financial transaction device. Parties were in a breakout room. Luke, I'll defer to you. What's the status of these cases?
I think we have a resolution here, Your Honor, somewhat disjointed. But the offer is we're going to waive on my 2 files. There's an offer to a possession. He's 7411 eligible, and he's going to plead to a larceny between 200 and 1,000 in Attorney Hines's case, with restitution of 248 and some odd cents.
That is correct, Your Honor. Restitution is $248.83.
All right. Laura, could I have bind over sheets in the 2 Luke Knopfinger, Austin Shaw cases, 202377 and 21469? Deborah, do you confirm the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Shaw, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, the plea agreement's got a couple parts. The drug cases are gonna be bound over to the circuit court to be dealt with up there. We'll deal with that here in just a moment. The financial transaction device, you're gonna plead to misdemeanor larceny under $200. That's a simple misdemeanor, punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. And they're directing that I order you to pay $248.83 of restitution. Do you understand the charge?
I do.
Other than that plea agreement, did anyone promise you anything to get you to plead to this?
No.
Or threaten you?
No.
Let me pull this up. Do you understand that by pleading to this charge, you'll be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or a jury? There'll be no trial. Do you understand that?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It's dying again. I don't know why it keeps dying.
You're still here, so hang on. Can you hear me? Well, we were making some progress. 4, 4, 4. Thank you. Well, he went into cyberspace.
Maybe just set him for a plea on the misdemeanor one.
Let's see if he comes back. Taylor Matthews has been patiently waiting. That's a client of Mr. George. What are we doing in that case, Tim?
We're gonna keep him set for prelim, Your Honor.
All right. This is file 21349FY. Are you Taylor Dale Matthews?
Yes, sir.
You're the Matthews with 1T variety.
Yeah.
You're charged with MDOP over $1,000 and larceny from a motor vehicle. Well, let's see what the deal is on this one. Well, there's a lot to this out there at M60 and Parkville Road. You're alleged to have done some damage and some other things out there. I think it's on video. All right, are you still on Marcellus Road?
Yeah.
Debbie, is there any plea offer here?
There's a few other cases coming in. We had offered that if he waived, we would discuss a global offer, but apparently he wants a prelim. So there may be additional charges that get added on the prelim at this time.
All right, we're going to set a prelim for next Tuesday, May 4th, which looks like it's going to be a very busy day, at 1 p.m. Now, I don't know exactly what time it's going to be. We may have a lot of things set for then. But you stay in contact with your lawyer. Your phone number ends in 7548?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what else is going on here. There may be some other cases in the works. But nothing prohibits you and your lawyer and the prosecutor from continuing to discuss a settlement. One can be reached, fine. If it can't be, we'll have a preliminary examination. Are there videos?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I'd have to look at the evidence tab. We've given the defense everything that we have. There's more information coming in from search warrants, so.
All right. Mr. Matthews, you stay in contact with your lawyer. Your matters continue till next Tuesday at 1 p.m. All right, thank you. Anything further on that one, Tim?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Matthews, you're good to go.
Your Honor,
Yes,
could I meet briefly with Mr. Bush in a breakout room?
certainly. Let me get the other ones closed up here. All right, we have a lot here, just laying here. Now, Debbie, I signed a nollie on Lana Latosky. Is that on this case?
I don't have her on my list, so
I think
I'm not sure.
I'd signed it on somewhere. I think that got dismissed, so we'll set that aside. Lori, what else have you got this morning? Taylor Klipfeld, Mandy Jarvis, and
Taylor signed a waiver, Your Honor, and I've emailed it to you and Tammy Miller, the prosecutor.
I saw it. So Taylor Klipfeld is a waiver?
And I'm gonna set him to plea in circuit court.
All right.
Marcus
Now,
Taylor.
what about Marcus Taylor? What's the story with him?
I have no contact with him. He was originally set in February and he gets picked up, never calls me, never shows at PC. So I think we're at the same place again.
All right. Let's table him for a minute. How about Mandy Jarvis?
Sandy at the jail yesterday. I believe she's going to sign a waiver. She was kind of teary-eyed and wanted to address bond. So I told her that she could sit on it and we would get her at the jail and then she could make a decision.
I'll have her brought up here just a moment. Let me dial up Mr. Marcus Taylor. Laura, can I have some more register of action sheets? I'm almost out. Failed to contact attorney. I have to wait 48 hours for bench warrant. Bond is currently $5,000. He has a surety bond. We'll do a notice of bond forfeiture. Maybe that'll liven them up. New bond, $10,000 cash or surety. Now, let's call the jail. While they're getting Ms. Jarvis, we'll talk about our other cases. Good morning, Deputy Tyler. This is Judge Middleton. Deputy Davis would like to know if you would bring up Andy Jarvis for us, please.
Andy Jarvis?
Yes.
I do have to do a couple of
All right, thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
I always tell them that you wanted that, Debbie. That makes them be nicer about it. Because if I
Good
ask,
plan.
they always bend over backwards for you. Let's see where we are with our other folks here. Mr. Bush has Michael Kurth. Is he in custody, John?
Yes. I also have Mark Lucas on a bond issue this morning.
Yes. That's a little convoluted. He's got a lot going on. They had it in my tray. There's a violation of bond conditions, which John Bush has in file 202090, which is a misdemeanor stalking complaint. And he has some new felony charges.
Is he in jail?
Yes.
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 Oh,
And Mr. George has him on those charges.
And I think, Your Honor, the violation of the bond condition is the genesis of one of the new felony complaints. So
I believe that's true. So I'm not sure what they want to do with that. We'll have him brought in here in a minute. Michael Kurth, have you had contact with him, John?
yes. I've spoken with him last week and talked to him this morning. Probably Mr. George and I may need to be in a breakout room with him for a few moments.
All right, we'll get him after we get Ms. Jarvis. And let's see what else we got here. Jarvis, Kurth. Monica Bennett. Tim, what are we doing with that one?
Miss Bennett is in custody in Branch County, so I haven't been able to have contact with her. My request would be just to simply adjourn. I'm going to contact Branch and see what the situation is over there, but I don't believe, obviously, she's dialing in from the county jail this morning.
All right, how about if we adjourn this for 2 weeks to May 11th?
That'd be fine with me if the prosecutor's all right with it.
That's fine.
John Wesley Ivins.
I represent Mr. Ivins in an active circuit court case as well as this case. In conversations with the prosecutor, they've given an offer that would resolve both files, and Mr. Ivins is going to waive his preliminary examination on the district court case this morning.
Do you have the circuit court case handy?
Yeah. It's 20-23534FH.
All right, we'll bring him up in a moment. All right, well, let's stop where we are for a minute while I can keep myself straight. Good morning, Ms. Jarvis. Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Judge Middleton. I'm here at the court. Your Mandy Jo Jarvis, your lawyer, Lori Hines, is here with us, and Deborah Davis is here from the prosecutor's office. You're originally from Wisconsin and somehow ended up here in St. Joe County. You're charged with larceny over $1,000 but less than $20,000. That's a felony punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment and I think up to a $10,000 fine. Let me look at this up. What is set for this morning is called a pre-exam conference, and there were a couple of questions, whether you were going to waive the preliminary examination, and then you wanted to discuss the issue of bond. Lori, do you need to speak to her further?
Just quickly, I just need to get confirmation with her on what she wants to do.
All right. Ms. Jarvis, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with your attorney.
Okay.
Oh, I think I got it. Okay, so we'll need Mr. Kurth. We'll need Mr. Ivins. Let's see, we'll keep going here. Monica Bennett, we will deal with. Travis Johnson.
Mr. Johnson's in custody, but I spoke to him and he would like a prelim.
You'd like a prelim?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll set it for next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. That's why I'm here, for prelims. Deborah, is there any plea offer in that case?
In Johnson, yes, there
Yeah.
was an attempt to joyride. Tim, is he here to waive on the record?
No, he wants a prelim.
Johnson? He wants
Oh,
a
I'm
prelim.
sorry. Is he here today, though?
He's in custody. Judge Stutzman canceled his bond yesterday.
Oh, gotcha.
So he also has circuit court case?
He's on probation through the circuit court.
Which one is this?
Your Honor, with Waterman,
Just a
attorney-
minute.
Sure.
I'm too slow, Debbie.
You're fine.
Is it possible he'll take the misdemeanor offer, or you don't know yet?
Mr.
No.
Johnson?
Yeah.
No, I spoke with him yesterday and he said he wanted a prelim.
Okay. Do you want me to bring him in or just make the record we did here?
I think this is fine if the prosecutor doesn't have an issue with it.
All right, and Mr. Kurth has one John Bush case and one Tim George case. We'll bring him in a bit. Deborah, you wanted to talk about Waterman?
Yes, Your Honor. We spoke with Attorney George yesterday, and we have both agreed that there needs to be a competency examination. So we had our office prepare an order for competency examination, and I can have Prosecutor Marvin deliver it to you if that's acceptable.
Is that agreeable, Mr. George?
Yes, Your Honor, and I've had some conversations with Mr. Waterman as well as family members, and I do believe that that is appropriate.
While on vacation, I check my email every day, and our mental health cases are just blowing up. As you all know, the jails have been the repository of mentally ill people since they closed the mental hospitals down. We have got a lot of people in our jail right now with serious mental health issues. I don't know the exact details of this one, but we've got some other very difficult cases, as you all know. Here is the esteemed Mr. Marvin right now on cue.
Do you need me to file it with the court and sign it?
No, Mr. Marvin has given me an order for competency evaluation in Joshua Ray Waterman, 21746. I will sign it and ask that a competency examination be conducted. Thank you, Mr. Marvin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, talk about right on time. All right, that leaves Mr. Lucas. He's got the bond hearing that John has, which is somewhat moot. He's charged in file 21682 with home invasion, 3rd degree, and aggravated stalking, alleged to have occurred on March 11th. Then he's charged with fleeing, eluding a police officer, 3rd degree, resisting and obstructing a police officer, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony in file 21765, and he is in custody on that one. So, what's your thought here, Tim?
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Lucas over the last 2 days. At this point, my understanding is he's going to waive the preliminary examinations in each case on the record this morning. He has asked that the court would address his bond.
All right. We'll bring him in a minute. Oh, I understood Mr. Waterman wanted a bond hearing. Is he able to participate in a bond hearing if he's not competent? Do we have a bond hearing in Waterman, Tim, or is that moot at this point?
I believe that's moot. When I spoke to him yesterday, we were on the same page regarding getting the evaluation taken care of.
All right. Fill as a waiver. Actually, we're in pretty good shape if Mr. Shaw would rematerialize. We've got the breakout room. I think Lori's finished, so let me close it and bring Miss Jarvis back. That's set for prelim. Mr. Johnston's prelim will be set for May 4th at 1 p.m. along with all the others. All right, Ms. Jarvis, welcome back. I don't know you. Let me take a minute and look this up. I'm Judge Middleton. I'm here at the courthouse, just down the street.
I've been in front of you before, Middleton.
Okay, I guess I do know you, so I apologize. But you also were from Indiana. You were from Indiana at one time, weren't you also?
Yes.
Okay, I guess I got you placed now. Lori, what does your client wish to do?
She does want to waive on the record her preliminary examination, and then she wants to address the court as to her bond conditions.
All right. Laura, could you bring me a waiver form on Mandy Jo Jarvis. Let me ask you a couple of questions, Mandy. What's your address?
200 South Church Street, Watertown, Wisconsin.
All right, that's what we got here. Are you on probation or parole?
No. I'm actually on a PR bond from Cass County because they want the corrections lady from Cass. She's seen that I was doing good in Wisconsin and she wanted me to stay there, and I never made it back there and caught this case.
All right, so you have a warrant from Cass County?
No, I have a sentencing date on June 4th. I actually came in here on the 9th and I had court on the 12th, and I made sure I was in there. Heath made sure I was in there.
What's that charge?
That is my possession charge.
Possession of what?
Meth?
All right, is that in the circuit court?
Yes.
Okay.
With Judge Dodge, I think.
Well, Judge Dodge is long since retired. It's Judge Herman now.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Well, Judge Dodge was there for many years, but all right, thank you. Let's talk about the waiver first before we get more into the bond issues. You are alleged to have stolen some snowmobiles. Four snowmobiles that were worth over $1,000 but less than $20,000 as a second offender, making it a maximum punishment of 10 years and or $15,000. The language says, I, Mandy Jo Jarvis, understand I have a right to employ an attorney and may request a court-appointed attorney if I'm financially unable to employ one. I have a right to a preliminary examination where it must be shown that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge me with the crime. I voluntarily waive my right to a preliminary examination and understand that I will be bound over to the circuit court in the charges in the complaint and warrant. Is that what you wish to do, Ms. Jarvis?
Yes.
All right.
We have no objection to the waiver, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And I was under the assumption that possibly I could combine my Cass and this case together.
Well, I don't know about that. The rule is the judge to sentence last in time has the choice as to consecutive or concurrent sentences.
Okay.
But that can be explored further. Mr. Shaw has rejoined us, so I'll bring him in a minute. As has Lana Latosky. Bond in this case is presently set in the amount of $30,000 cash or surety. Ms. Hines, what would you like me to know?
Mandy has been very cooperative with Cass County. She was honest with you and said she took care of it right away. She does have a PR bond there. She has a job waiting for her at the Target distribution facility in Wisconsin. She's making $21 an hour. She's worried about her truck that's been impounded. She has the ability to get that out of impound, and she would ask the court for permission to leave the state of Michigan. Her being here has caused her to use, and she's very tearful about not wanting to continue the path that she's on in the ongoing addiction with methamphetamine, and believes that Wisconsin could give her more of a clean start and get her away from this situation. She has the ability to attend hearings by Zoom. She has a valid phone number, and she will fully stay in contact with me and continue with all requirements of her bond conditions if it's reduced for her.
All right, Ms. Davis, what's your position?
Your Honor, looking at her history first, in June of 2016, she had a charge from our county for possession of a controlled substance. She ended up pleading to a misdemeanor, and that was placed on probation. Then in May of 2019, she had a possession of methamphetamine here in our county. She pled guilty, was placed on a probation, did 27 days jail, but then while on probation for that, she got the charge in Cass County. So I'm not sure what the probation agent's thoughts were on that, but the fact is she's got these serious cases.
Is she still on probation?
It appears she's still on probation.
No, I'm not. I sat 95 days last June for that here.
All right, I'll take a look.
Okay, so if she sat on probation.
Laura, would you come in, please?
On a probation violation for that, then it sounds like immediately after she got out, she got caught again in Cass County, and now
No,
is
that was
awaiting sentencing.
That's not how that happened.
Ms. Jarvis?
I was.
Stop.
Sorry.
Would you call the Cass County Prosecutor's Office, find out what the status of her case is and her bond?
Sure. So taking that into account and then looking at the allegations of this case where she's with Mr. Kurth, and we have eyewitnesses that see her and him working together in concert to steal these snowmobiles, then she runs from the scene and tells the police officers that there's 2 loaded syringes in her vehicle. Now, the syringes that were loaded weren't found. There was a bag of unused syringes and some broken ones, but certainly I have major concerns about her ability to stay clean and to not create issues in the public safety-wise. This is a serious case. She's got other serious cases, and I believe that the bond is fine where it's at, and it should probably be increased based on everything that has occurred, but I'd leave that to the court's discretion.
I'm checking the status of the case in Cass County. I'm not quite buying that there's a PR bond.
And I'm not sure if Cass County is aware of these charges, and then to allow her to leave and go to the state of Wisconsin is very concerning. Once she's out of the state, I don't have any belief that she'll come back here to face these charges. Again, she's got about 2 months or a month and a half until she's supposed to be sentenced in Cass County. I believe that she should be staying here in the state of Michigan until these are resolved.
All right. Ms. Jarvis, just stay where you are. We're checking on that.
I have a 7% charge, Your Honor. I'm so sorry.
All right, well, let's see if we can accomplish this before you fall off the grid again. Mr. Austin Shaw has rejoined us. We have 2 waivers to do, which I'd like to accomplish. File 202377 is possession of a controlled substance, and file 21469 is possession of methamphetamine. Mr. Timothy George represents you Mr. Luke Nossinger represents you in those matters. It's my understanding you're going to waive preliminary examination in those matters and have them bound over to the circuit court. Is that correct?
Yes.
Ms. Davis, you accept that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Nossinger?
Yes.
I thought you would come back, Austin, so I just set these aside.
Yeah, and I apologize. I really do. My phone's battery just doesn't last for very long.
All right, well, let's see if we can finish this.
Okay.
I, Austin Lee Shaw, understand I have a right to employ an attorney. I may request a court-appointed attorney if I'm financially unable to employ one. I may request a court-appointed attorney if I'm financially unable to employ one. I have a right to a preliminary examination where it must be shown that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge me with the crime. I voluntarily waive my right to a preliminary examination and understand that I will be bound over to the circuit court on the charges in the complaint and warrant or as amended. Is that what you wish to do?
And I was told, said something about a 7411 probation.
Well, yes, they indicated that you're eligible. Just a second. But now you've got 2 charges, so I'm not sure. That's going to be up to the circuit court. I'm not making any promises as to 7411 probation in either case, but do you wish to waive the matter and have it bound over to the circuit court in each case? Mr. Shaw?
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of stuck, not understanding, I guess. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and waive them.
All right, well, if you have a question, I'll try to answer it, but what this does, it removes both of these cases to the circuit court. They'll be under the jurisdiction of the circuit judge, and they can argue for 7411 at that court, but I don't have jurisdiction over these once you waive it. Do you understand?
And what would happen, like, say, okay, so you say I'm eligible, what would happen if they denied me the 7411 probation?
Well, a number of things. You could still be put on probation, but not subject to having the charge removed. You could be put in jail and probation. You could be put at the probation center, or theoretically you could be sent to prison, although that's probably not likely, but these are felony cases. So there's a lot I don't know, because I don't know too much about the case, and I can't remember all of your background. But this gives your lawyer the latitude to continue to negotiate the matter with the prosecutor. So is that what you wish to do?
See, I'm not
Here's
sure.
your choices. You can have a preliminary examination where we take testimony on both of these, and the prosecutor would withdraw the plea offer and simply go to trial on the charges, which is your right. Or you could waive the preliminary examination and continue to have an attempt at a negotiated plea.
Now, again, I'm sorry. Which one would be more of? Which one would have a better outlook of how it would turn out?
Oh, I can't advise you about that
right.
stuff, Austin. I appreciate your asking my opinion about it, but I can't represent you in your individual interests. So this has to be a choice that you make.
Right.
Do you want to talk some more, Austin?
Oh yeah, if we could please.
All right. Now I don't want you to lose we still got to do the misdemeanor plea too. My fear is you're going to run out of battery before we finish this, but.
Right, because I did just drop down to 6%. I'll waive my preliminary.
All right, is that what you wish to do?
Yes.
All right, then I'll show a waiver in this one. You wish to do it in each case?
Yes.
All right, that is 2377. Your bond is continued in each of those cases.
Okay.
Now, we got to complete the plea on the misdemeanor charge. That is the misdemeanor where they're dismissing the financial transaction device for a plea to misdemeanor larceny. The allegation in that case is you took some girl's credit card and charged some things on it without her consent. That's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Do you understand that charge?
I understand that charge. I don't remember. I never took anybody's debit card from them unwillingly or unknowingly or whatever. I didn't purposely mean to take anybody's money by any means. I go to the store for people all day, every day. And,
well, let's take a look at this, all right?
Okay.
Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. So let's see if we can get to this without you shooting yourself in the foot.
Okay.
That is 444. All right, according to the affidavit, on February 21st, a woman named Kalisha Norris said that she visited a friend, and when she went home later that night, she could not locate her wallet. She left it in her friend's vehicle. The next day, somebody made a purchase of $201 at AutoZone. They bought a battery, and then they went to Sunoco and bought some gas. Then they went to Sunny Mart and bought some stuff worth $47.48. And they have a video of Jarrell Johnson and Austin Shaw, and you're on the video wearing a Realtree brand baseball hat with a skeleton on it, purchasing stuff at Sunny Mart with this girl's credit card. She looked at it and said, I don't recognize either one of these guys. So, did you use this credit card to buy some stuff at Sunny Mart?
I do remember I go to Sunny Mart almost every day. I don't know who Kailisha is. And I know I didn't take anybody's card out of their cars.
Well, where did you get this card?
I don't know who Jarrell Johnson is either.
Well,
Joseph Johnson?
It's Joseph Johnson. He goes by Country.
Oh, Joseph Jarrell Johnson. There's been a series of guys going by Country. They used to know JoJo Brown as Country. I think it's a prison thing. I don't know. Anyway, did you use some credit card that you didn't know anything about to make a purchase at Sunny Mart?
Oh, I go to Sunny Mart with people's cards every day and buy them stuff. So it's
well. Did you know this girl?
No, I do not. I don't know who that is. I stay at Village Manor, and that's right behind Sunny Mart. And I'll run, and it's literally 2 minutes walking distance, and I'll walk over there every day and just run over there and grab people drinks or whatever, because I have a couple friends that stay right around the area as well. And I watch over some kids. I watch over my roommate's kids and the neighbor's kids when she was living here, and I would go run to the store for them as well. So I would use their cards, and I never did pay attention to like the name on the card, but I don't know a Kailisha.
The purchase was for Hennessy and cigarettes. And
yeah, and I don't drink. And I don't
well, at
drink.
least they didn't waste it.
The interview with the police officer, Mr. Shaw admitted to being there with Joseph Johnson.
Yes, I know Joseph Johnson, yes. And I mean, I go to Sunny, like I said, I go to Sunny Mart all the time. I didn't make a purchase for a battery or anything like that. And as a matter of fact, the cop, when he told me that I made a purchase for the battery, and he said the brand new battery was in the back of the car, and I was like, I kept telling him I don't recall buying a battery from AutoZone. It just wasn't ringing a bell. And there was a brand new battery in the back of the car, yes. Well, he
Whose
took the
car
battery.
was it?
That was my roommate's car. And
Who's
the battery
that?
Alexandria Cross. And the battery,
Well-
the brand new battery that was taken by the police out of the back of that car, they took it to AutoZone to have it matched, and they had brought it back to me because that was not the battery that was not a battery from AutoZone.
Well, I'll put Lana back in the waiting room. She got a barking dog. Miss Latosky will be with you in a bit.
Okay.
Just a second. I'll put you in the waiting room.
What a boss.
I don't know what we got. He don't know nothing about nothing. Did the co-defendant, Mr. Johnson, get charged with anything?
He did not.
So this guy is the tail of the dog, and the main guy that's buying all this stuff doesn't get charged?
It's our understanding that Mr. Shaw was the one ID'd by the AutoZone manager.
Which is not possible.
The affidavit doesn't show that, but let's see here what we got back to it. The affidavit shows Mr. Johnson buying stuff at Sunny Mart. Seen driving the black vehicle, white male Austin Shaw wearing gray hooded sweatshirt. Purchase made at AutoZone. I showed Scott West at AutoZone. I showed him a picture that Mr. Shaw was taken of Sunoco. He said, that's the guy who bought the battery.
It's absolutely ridiculous because I did not buy
All
a
right,
battery.
well, I think you probably deserve a felony charge on this. If you don't want to admit anything, you have a preliminary examination on it. It's all the same to me.
Right,
We
I
watch the
understand.
videos and see you in living color doing this. The video says the other guy had this credit card in his hand. You were wearing a blue flannel bandana and a black beanie hat. No, wait a minute. Johnson had the beanie hat. But yeah, the guy at AutoZone ID'd you as the guy that bought the battery.
I don't understand how he ID'd me. That just, is there like footage? Because I didn't buy a battery from AutoZone, and that's the honest to God's truth.
I drove and saw the vehicle with Gary Boyd in it. The vehicle belonged to Alexandra Cross. Austin Shaw denied going to AutoZone. He continued to deny ever being there. Runs errands for people. Joe Johnson. He received the credit card from Joseph Johnson to go and buy the battery and later buy items at Sunny Mart. He admitted Joseph was the one that gave him possession of the credit card when being questioned. What do you want to do here, Deborah?
We can have a prelim. That's fine. We've got plenty of witnesses, and we believe that the offer was reasonable under the circumstances. But if he doesn't want to accept it, then we will go for the felony.
What was my offer?
A misdemeanor of larceny, 200 to 1,000.
I would more than likely take a misdemeanor before a felony any day.
Well, the problem is you haven't admitted to me that you did anything wrong. So I don't know. They've got allegedly video evidence of you using this credit card at Sunny Mart.
And like I said, Sunny Mart is very, very possible.
All right, and then this other guy would identify you as the person that bought the battery. And how or when you came into possession of this girl's credit card. It looks to me like Joseph Jarrell Johnson should have been charged with something, but he didn't get charged with anything. And I'm not sure about Miss Cross. So in order to accept your plea to a misdemeanor, you have to admit to me that you did something.
And I'll admit that I did make purchases at Sunny Mart.
All right. Is that acceptable?
Yes, Your Honor. We want full restitution though for the battery as well as Sunny
Okay,
Mark, which was the 200 and, I believe, so let me see, $248.83.
That is fine with me. I will more than gladly pay for it.
All right, I'm gonna get the police report and the videos. And set this for sentence. For May 17th at 11 a.m. Does that work for you, Lori?
No, I'm in Wisconsin then.
Will you be in Watertown, Wisconsin?
I know, it's Big Ten rowing championship, so.
You're a sports mom.
Devil's
All right.
Lake, I believe.
That's in Watertown, Wisconsin. All right, anyway, let's set this for May 24th. Will you be there for that?
Yeah, at
Yes.
11, I have a 9, a 10, and okay.
All right,
Yep.
Mr. Shaw, are you still at QR Avenue in Scotts?
No, I'm not. That's my mailing address. I'm living with Alexandria Cross and at 1205 Laura Drive, Sturgis,
But
Michigan.
where do you want me to set it?
For Sturgis, the 1205 Laura Drive, that's where I'll be staying.
Is there an apartment number?
Yeah, apartment F.
All right, we'll send you that notice. I'll get more information and do it at that time. You're about to be at about 2% power right now.
I'm at
I'm going to
5.
disconnect you. You got the felonies, which are going to be bound over with a waiver. This will be set for May 24th at 11, and I'll review the reports and the videos. You're good to go.
Thank you.
Mr. Shaw. All right, now let's deal with Ms. Latosky because I believe that's a waiver. Samantha a dismissal, or Jenny, I signed up Nolly earlier today, which I think was on Lana Latosky, and it isn't connected to the file. Is that true, Deborah? Can you confirm whether that case was dismissed?
Is this 21-288 FY?
Yes.
Yes, Nolly was done by Mr. Gabriel on 4/19 of 21. We don't have the signed copy back from Your Honor yet.
I just signed it this morning. I've been away. Miss Latosky, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Your lawyer, Mr. George, is here with us, and Prosecutor Deborah Davis. This is file 21288FY. You were charged with possession of methamphetamine and obstruction of justice. For reasons that I don't recall, the prosecutor has agreed to dismiss these charges. So your case is dismissed without prejudice, meaning it could potentially be recharged if the situation changes, but for the time being, the charge is dismissed. What's the reason for the dismissal? Do you recall, Deborah?
It was a plea in her circuit court case.
Okay, that's right. All right, this matter was dismissed for your plea in circuit court. Ms. Latosky, you're free to go. In this case, stay in contact with your lawyer in the other cases, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, now, we come back to Ms. Jarvis.
The now is on basis in a box to be processed.
Well, I signed it. I can have the actual paper when I'll connect it to the file. Did they throw it away already? Or?
No, they have it in the box to be processed. So
Well, see if you can get it out of the box, and I'll put the two together. All right, we're going to return to Mandy Jo Jarvis, who is going to Big Ten rowing championships in Watertown, Wisconsin on May 16th. Anyway, I did confirm from the Cass County Prosecutor's Office, she pled guilty to possession of meth. They're recommending no further jail time, and she is free on a $10,000 PR bond. But again, I don't know if they know about this charge.
Yes, they do.
Well, Ms. Jarvis, I don't know that it makes a lot of sense for you to go to Wisconsin. I guess you can call in the Cass County one. What you told me seems to be borne out and confirmed by them, but I'm concerned about all these contemporaneous methamphetamine charges.
That's why I moved to Wisconsin, to get away from my habit.
All right, well, if it was that easy, we'd just relocate people and they'd all get sober, but the habit tends to follow the addict. Prosecutor objects to the reduction of bond. Past record shows that she violated her probation and did a 95-day sentence. She has a felony pending in another county. She is a Wisconsin resident. She was an Indiana resident. And this is a serious charge with valuable property, which could likely result in a prison or jail sentence. And she ran from the police. So the motion to reduce bond is denied. And I'll do an order to that effect. Ms. Jarvis, I'm sorry, you're going to be stuck here for a while unless you post the bond. We'll make arrangements.
Yeah, that won't happen.
All right, well, pay me now or pay me later, I guess. We'll see how this all bears out. Could I have the corrections officer? Tim and John, what were we going to do with Mr. Kurth?
Your Honor, I have an update on that, and I can speak with Mr. Bush on it as well. While you were with some other cases, I spoke with Mr. Kurth.
All right, well, okay, go ahead. Go ahead and take.
Sorry, at this point, we're just going to keep it on for prelim.
Wait a minute. Okay, I thought I don't want to lose corrections. I'd like Mr. Ivins next, if I could. John Wesley Ivins, Luke.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
At this point, we're just going to keep him set for prelim. I think that the prosecutors made a global offer, and I'd just like to speak with him and Mr. Bush a little bit more, as well as the prosecutor's office. So I do think that we can get some type of resolution to it by the end of the week, but it just won't be today.
All right, I'll leave that for prelim for May 4th at 1. Both cases file 21474 and 21744.
And Ms. Davis, is Ms. Halleck's case already in circuit?
On which client?
On Kurth.
I believe that it is. Let me see.
Okay.
Switch to another screen. There's one that's on circuit that is.
The CCW?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to confirm that.
I think that's the knife file.
And then there's a bench warrant one for possession of a taser. And then there's this case.
Okay. So John's case is in circuit as well?
No, mine is set for PEC this morning.
Okay,
He missed a court date on April 6th.
okay.
All right, we'll set both of these for next Tuesday for prelim. If they're resolved before that, very good. All right, we're waiting for Mr. Ivins, and then we're gonna have to deal with Mr. Lucas. All right, are you John Wesley Ivins?
Yes, sir.
Laura, could I have a bind over on John Ivins? Mr. Ivins, this is file 21779FY, People versus John Wesley Ivins. In this case, you're charged with possession of methamphetamine, fleeing, eluding a police officer in the third degree, and resisting or assaulting or obstructing a police officer. Those are felony charges, and they're scheduled for a pre-exam conference today. Your lawyer, Mr. Timothy George, tells us that you're going to waive the preliminary examination in those matters. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, let me get this up here.
Leave that way.
The methamphetamine is alleged to be a second offense, which is a 20-year maximum. Fleeing, eluding, and resisting, obstructing would be 7.5 and 3, I guess. But the waiver of preliminary examination says, I, John Wesley Ivins, understand I have a right to employ an attorney. I may request a court-appointed attorney if I'm financially unable to employ one, which we have appointed one for you, Mr. George. I voluntarily waive my right to a preliminary examination where it must be shown that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge me with the crime. I voluntarily waive my right to that examination, and I understand I will be bound over to the circuit court on the charges in the complaint. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes, ma'am. I believe.
You agree, Ms. Davis?
I do, Your Honor. I just want to make it clear for the record what the offer is in this case. It's a global offer, including his case that is currently upstairs in circuit court. So in this present case, he would waive today and enter a plea in circuit court no later than May 21st, or the offer will be revoked. He would be pleading to possession of meth with no double and no supplements as a habitual offender, and fleeing and eluding the third degree. And then he would plead to a use of meth in the current circuit court case of 20-23534. This was conveyed via email to Mr. George yesterday.
All right, I'll note that.
Yes, correct. That's all right.
All right, Mr. Ivans, you're good to go. Your lawyer will be in contact with you. Luke, ask the corrections officer to come back in if you would.
Yeah, he's stepping in now. They asked you to step in. You're all stepping in.
Luke, Debbie would like to see Mr. Mark Lucas next.
Okay, got it.
Thank you. Oh, excuse me. Now, I think, is this the only thing we have left?
I believe so for me, Your Honor.
We've got the bond violation. Debbie, what do you want to do with that?
Well,
That's what John's here for. John, what are we doing with that misdemeanor stalking case? It's from last year. I think it's pending jury trial or something, isn't it?
That's where it stands, to the best of my knowledge, Your Honor. I don't know exactly what the bond violation is. I just got the notice that there was a bond violation.
Well, the new facts alleging home invasion and stalking of March 11th in file 21682 violates that bond. Deborah, is it safe to assume that he's got one misdemeanor and 2 felonies, and there's going to be some attempt at a global resolution?
yes, he actually has 3 felonies open.
Yes.
So one is in circuit court already. Which,
I believe I represent him on that.
okay. So yes, I mean, we would like
Is
to
it
get,
even worth trying to pursue the bond violation at this point in light of the fact that
no, I mean, we wouldn't do anything with the bond violation at this point.
What's the current open case in circuit?
That one is for a possession of meth. Let me look. Possession of meth as a second or subsequent carrying concealed weapon, felony firearm.
possession of meth, felony firearm, and CCW. What's the file number?
That one is 21-23686FH.
All right. And Deborah will dismiss bond violation for waivers.
Yes.
And 21682 and 21765. So John, I guess you don't need to do anything further regarding the bond violation. That matter is just pending jury trial in district court.
Thank you. And Tim, when you have a chance, give me a call, Mr.
I will.
Kirk, okay? Thank you.
I will.
Thank you. I'm going to sign off, Judge.
All right.
Thanks,
thank you.
John.
Your Honor,
Yes?
could I please see Miss Davis in a breakout room briefly?
Yes. Let me set that up. Good morning, Mr. Lucas. I'm going to put you in the waiting room for a minute while your lawyer and the prosecutor are talking, so thank you. I'll be right with you. Laura, could I have bindovers on Mark Lucas, home invasion 21675, or 21675 is the flee and elude, and the home invasion is 21682. All right, we're on the home stretch here. Anything time we're done before 11, we're doing pretty well.
Workout today.
Yeah.
Get my steps in.
Let me finish my note here. It's catching up. All right, I have Mr. Lucas in the waiting room. Are we still a go on waiver on the record on those?
Yes, I believe so, Your Honor.
All right. Good morning once again, Mr. Lucas. This is still Judge Middleton over here at the court. Your lawyer, Timothy George, is here with us, and Prosecutor Deborah Davis. They were in a breakout room discussing things before we brought you back in.
Yes, sir.
You've got two charges. 21682 alleges home invasion in the 3rd degree and aggravated stalking. That crime was alleged to be a violation of your bond condition in misdemeanor file 202090SM. Your lawyer, Mr. John Bush, was here in that case. Deborah Davis indicated in light of your waiver of these two matters to circuit court, they were going to dismiss the bond violation petition. So that leaves the home invasion 3rd degree and the aggravated stalking, and then that's alleged to have occurred March 11th. And then the fleeing, eluding police officer, resisting, obstructing a police officer, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. In file 21765, Mr. George indicated that you're going to waive preliminary examination in both of those matters, have them bound over to circuit court, which gives you 3 felonies and 1 misdemeanor. And they're going to see if they can somehow resolve all these cases together. Is that what you wish to do, is waive the preliminary examination in this case?
Yes, sir.
All right. The language says, I, Mark Lucas, understand I have a right to employ an attorney. I may request a court-appointed attorney if I'm financially unable to employ one. I have a right to a preliminary examination where it must be shown that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge me with the crime. I voluntarily waive my right to a preliminary examination and understand that I will be bound over to the circuit court on the charges in the complaint and warrant. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Davis, you agree to that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you agree to do it on the home invasion case and the fleeing and eluding case? Is that correct, Mr. Lucas, in both cases?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right. In the home invasion case, the bond is $100,000.
Your Honor,
Yes?
do we have the ability to address that?
Well, you always do, so let me finish this and then we'll
Okay.
address it. Yeah, I don't preclude that. But anyway, right now it's $100,000. In the other case, the bond is $5,000. I don't know what they are. He must have posted it in the other cases. In the misdemeanor case, he had posted a bond of $1,000. Yes, the bond is, do you wish to make a bond reduction motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, why don't you go ahead?
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, in speaking with my client, he's dealing with some pretty significant physical health issues. I know every time I talk to him, he's struggling at the jail. He reports to me that he does have an opportunity for work that would be lined up. He can report what the address would be to the place that he was staying. At this point, I mean, the $100,000 cash surety bond for my client is essentially a no bond. So we would ask that the court reduce it to an amount that would be appropriate in the circumstances. Obviously, Mr. Lucas has a number of matters that are hanging out there, but due to his current physical condition, we would ask for the court's consideration and reduction of the bond. Thank you.
Deborah, what's your position?
Your Honor, we would object to any reduction of the bond. We believe it's set appropriately based on the history and the allegations here, the continual threat to the victim in the case. Each time he has bonded out on a case, he has immediately been contacting her and threatening her with these other charges. So fleeing from the police, again, this was a very long chase. This is, a lot of people were put in danger. I don't believe that it justifies reducing the bond with what we have here today. So it has to leave it where it's at. Thank you.
Mr. Lucas, I've known you for a while. That other case, the stalking case, is pending in my court.
Yes, sir.
And my sense here in the last couple of months is you just gave up. And you figured hell with it. And Judge Patterson and I discussed this case with the magistrate. And you got to the point where you didn't care what happened, and you didn't care what happened to you. This chase was ugly, and you had a gun in the car, and you just gave up. And I'm concerned that you're a danger to yourself and a danger to the complainant, Valerie. And her safety is at issue. I'm concerned that you're going to kill her, frankly, which is why I directed the magistrate to set the bond as I did. And now that I'm talking to you right now, you've turned back into Mark Lucas, a reasonable, rational guy I can talk to. But when you get out and you throw your hands up and say, hell with it, I'm going to just crash and burn, that scares me. So, no, I agree with Ms. Davis. I don't want something bad to happen. And this ain't just going to go away. You're not just going to get a pat on the head and a new job. We've got to deal with the stalking. We've got to deal with the bound over felony. And we've got to deal with these other serious felonies, which include felony firearm, which includes a mandatory minimum prison sentence. So this is a public safety issue. And the bond request is denied. You're good to go, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Debbie, don't go away yet.
Sure.
Tim, do you have any of this afternoon's cases? All right, Mr. Lucas.
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Luke, thank you. I think that finishes our need for the room. I'll see you this afternoon. We've got a lot of prelims set. All right.
Mark.
All right. Tim, I guess you're good to go. I'll do an order on that one and the bindovers. But Debbie, what do we know about this afternoon? I've been away, and I see we have Wabanami with Lori, or Melissa. We have Rosner with Luke. We have the very difficult cases with Rocky Gardner. That's what I'm primarily concerned about. Are we going to do those?
Yes, it's my understanding. I'm handling the Gardner cases, and we are ready to go on those.
But there's two separate prelims, the CSC charges from March 8th and the assault charges of March 20th. So those are both set to go?
Yes. So are you doing the prelims today then?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Which
Judge Patterson's not here, so I'm it. So then Eva, I presume you want to do that one first?
I believe that that's a waiver on the record for.
No, Gardner. Eva Miller, you believe is a waiver?
Yes. But yes, we would want to do Gardner's cases first.
But we'll do the waiver on the record for Miss Miller.
Yes.
And what do you know about Rosner or Wabanamki?
Wabanimki? I believe Dave is handling that one, and I will check with him on Rosner. I don't know if we were given sufficient notice on Rosner. We just got the motion.
What's the motion? I looked at it.
It's a 180-day rule.
Oh, yeah. It's a prelim. Oh, yeah. I'll take a look at that. We'll do that after we do the prelim. I don't want to go to an hour argument while you got a CSC victim waiting.
Right, and she's supposed to be coming in to the office, so.
Okay, all right, well, let me know. I'll be here catching up on this paperwork.
Very good.
All right, we've had a busy morning and a busy afternoon, and I'll see if I probably got some polycoms to do in the meantime. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your
I'll see
Honor.
this afternoon.
Yep.
All right, I guess that's all we're gonna do right now. I'll